Good evening, everyone. And we are live. Bozin, I think you were first last time as well. Daniel, good evening. Piyush, Carl, Jarmo, David, Sane, Anthony, welcome. Wallace, Roger, Mark. We've got people from Toronto, South Africa, the UK. Don, good morning. Good morning. So you guys must be on that side of the world. France, good evening. Maryland, India, Shalbas, Nasi, Michelle from California. Good to see all of you here tonight, and the numbers are growing exponentially. I've heard that in the news a lot lately. Well, I'm going to start because we've got a big agenda here, and then I will jump over in the chat room after Dimi takes over, and you can see him down there in the bottom already. He's got a haircut, but he'll tell us more about that in a short while from now. So tonight is State of Development. We'll talk about that very soon. Before we do that, just remember that our Brizzy Pro WordPress lifetime licenses are going, and we've got 563 at this moment. And once that is done, the price of $299 not to be repeated. So go check it out. And remember, that comes with the 2 years of Brizzy Cloud Studio plan when you sign up for those. Right, so tonight we're going to find out what's in the works for Brizzy WordPress. We're going to find out what's in the works for Brizzy Cloud, and then we're going to showcase some of these grand goodies. Dimi's going to showcase that for us, and we're going to feast our eyes on that. I guess the session will go over 60 minutes. So that 60 minutes, let's go for 80 minutes. 80 minutes, 90 minutes, I'm pretty sure you can say that. And we're going to see how much of the questions we can answer. The showcase will be live, so Dimi will be doing live screen sharing for you, and then I will be there in the chat room with you guys and see which questions I can throw over to Dimi tonight. And then at the end, we'll just have a few thank yous for all of you. Remember, no tech support in this webinar. It's also not a how-to webinar. So if you want to know how to do this, how to do that, this is not the place to ask it tonight. This is purely a showcase, what's in the works. And then quickly about me, you know, I don't like flying. I'm a big photographer, but I have to admit lately, I don't know, is it because of the lockdown we had in South Africa? I've just not been in the mood to go out. And I wonder how this is going to affect the world of photography, because it's kind of an outside world for us. And yes, video content every morning, 3:30, that I still do. And then, yes, I'm your content developer for Brizzy YouTube and webinars. Dimi.
Hey guys, good evening. I hope you're doing okay and stay safe in this lockdown. I'm one of the co-founders here at Brizy, and I've put this, the lockdown is actually driving me a bit mad. So if we interact on Facebook, just watch out, because I might say some things that I surely will regret later on. This is crazy. I hope they bring this the lockdown. They open it up so we can leave homes, because I'm not sure about you, GP, but for me it's a bit crazy. And I have two kids in the next room. One is 7 and one is 3. So
I don't have that.
But you have your cat and dog, right? So it's sort of, yeah. I'm one of the designers here at Brizy. I'm mainly responsible for the UI and UX of Brizy, together with my colleague Bogdan. And I work with WordPress since 2009, so it's almost 11 years now. That's about it.
And you've had a haircut. And
yeah, I couldn't stand it no more, right? All the barber shops here are closed. So it's basically either long hair on to shoulders or this one. So I've chose this one. My wife helped me with yeah.
And I'm going to go down that road very soon. I told you I have a clipper here somewhere in the house. I think I shaved the dog's hair last time with it, so but I'm willing to go for it because it's also driving me mad. I like the short hair; it's much more manageable. Good, right? So just a good evening to those of you who have joined. A lot of you already in the room. Thank you very much for joining us tonight for the showcase of what's in the works. This is being recorded, and we will post it as soon as possible after this webinar on YouTube. If you miss something or you have to leave early, have to go attend to that. And it's going with night. So the breakdown, and then after this, I'm going to hand over to.
Let me pick up from here.
I will be fielding the question
from here.
Okay, then you go.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? I've heard you with a bit of a delay for some reason.
No, you're good. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, perfect. So how we've breaking down this webinar, we wanted to. It's a bit more information tonight, and I'm sure you'll appreciate it. But just know that we've separated the webinar in three sections. So we'll discuss everything in terms of Brizy Builder, and as you know, the Brizy Builder is common for is the same for the Brizy WordPress plugin and our Brizy Cloud platform. We'll discuss about the Brizy WordPress plugin and then about the Brizy Cloud. So basically, we'll have these layers of conversations. Everything we'll discuss in the Brizy Builder section will be common for Brizy WordPress plugin and Brizy Cloud. So keep that in mind as we move forward. So a bit of overview in 2020 so far. In the Brizy Builder, I will not dwell too much on this because we have some more interesting stuff in this webinar. But just the highlights: we've added elements, improved a bunch of things, contact forms, and added a bunch of new elements like timeline and a switcher. We've optimized and improved a bunch of options and rewritten and things like that. A couple of these are mostly in the backend, so probably a lot of this you didn't see, but take our word for it that a lot of has improved in the last couple of months. We've also added some usability improvements, like the sidebar that you can right now you can move from left to right, and you can make it sticky. We've added some couple of layouts in free, and also we've introduced a notification system that tells you if someone else is editing another page, or you can take over, something similar to how WordPress deals with that. These are the breakdown separated for what we've added in Brizy WordPress and Brizy Cloud. In Brizy WordPress, we've introduced a maintenance and coming soon feature, so you basically can create that inside Brizy. And we've also rewritten a bunch of things and improved a lot the dynamic part. And this is the dynamic part of WordPress, and also the templating feature. In the cloud, we've also bring up a bunch of improvements that I'm sure you guys expected, like record redirect that lets you link your custom domain with this redirect, pop-ups. We've improved the menu. We've added a custom link. Now you can create all sorts of menus there, and we can move projects. You can rename accounts and create different redirects. And we've introduced also leads notifications. So a bunch of things. And recently, I'm not sure you're aware of, we've introduced WebP images, compression images. If your browser support it, we deliver it to you. These are the latest thing in image optimization. So your cloud projects will run faster, load faster, be accessed faster by your users. So let's move on to the Brizy Builder. GP, if you want to ask something, or if the guys have some questions, we can tackle this as we go along, because there is a lot of information here, and we can keep this until the end if you prefer it.
I think as you go through the builder, then WordPress Cloud, if there are questions pertaining to that specific topic at each one, I'll pop them in there. Otherwise, if not pertaining to that, we can tackle that at the end.
Perfect, makes sense. Okay. So the Brizy Builder, right? We'll take them one by one. The Brizy Builder in the next update, next update, and that, as I've mentioned at the beginning, and I'll tell you again, this update, because it's regarding the Brizy Builder, it comes in WordPress and in Cloud as well. We'll have new elements. We'll have a Lottie element. I know that you guys asked for it in the community, so we put that in. A table, business hours. It's a new element with. It's very nice. You'll see it. We've also improved a bunch of elements. For example, for the menu, we've added a positioning feature. You can now positioning to be horizontal or vertical, and I'm sure you know why vertical is a great idea for those footers or for the mega menu that we've also introduced. We'll have block conditions, the long-awaited block conditions that will let you put headers, footers on all your pages in basically a second. We'll showcase that tonight, and we're super excited about this feature. We'll have also the sync feature that will let you sync blocks in the cloud in your Brizzy account. And you'll be able to import, export them, and access them in any WordPress admin or even in the cloud platform. So basically, you'll be able to move blocks or layouts around very easily between the cloud and WordPress, or between WordPress and WordPress. We'll also introduce a save draft state. So basically, you'll be able to work everything in draft like you do in WordPress, and then publish your work. You'll be able to save layouts. You'll be able to clear a layout if you want to start from scratch very easily without the need to delete every block on the page. We've also introduced a new active state color. So this pertains to certain elements and certain like accordion, switch, tabs, and gallery. And it will be implemented in the menu as well. I'm not sure we'll be able to do it until we have this update ready. So it's possible that the menu active color to be pushed for the next update, but it will come for the menu as well. I know this was a requested feature a bunch of times. So let's go right to a live showcase and show you what you'll be seeing in the next update. Application window, Chrome, okay. Inception, right? Okay, let me switch to my install here. I have a server local install made by my colleagues to test this. Let's start with some. Can you guys see my screen? GP, if you can confirm, you can see my screen.
Yeah, can okay. See that.
Yeah, go ahead. Perfect. Let's start with the goodies, right? With a little but great stuff. Okay, so we have here. Let's begin with the Lottie element. You can find it here in the list or search for it. We've included a default Lottie animation. You have all sorts of controls here, loop, sizes, and things like that. But I have lottiefiles.com here open. So let me just replace that to see that everything works just right. I'll just pick one from here. Let's go with this one. You need to copy the link and just paste it here in the Lottie element, and just like that.
While you're busy with this, just a question.
Sure, please.
We are busy with the builder. Will these features you are showing now be for both builder in WordPress and cloud, or will some of them only be for one platform?
Everything regarding the builder. So every time we discuss now and we've discussed now and in the past and in the future, everything that is related to the editor, to the Brizzy builder editor, everything you do here in the builder, everything will be in WordPress and cloud, right? Every element, everything. Right. Only the things that are particular to that platform. For example, you will not see, I don't know, shortcode or a WooCommerce element in the cloud, right? Because that is outside WordPress and it doesn't make sense. But everything else regarding the builder is on par in both. So yeah. I've put this here, but and you have all sorts of controls, right? Like you are used to in Brizzy. You can modify the sizes, and you can put I don't know, you can loop it, or you can do all sorts of speeds, modify the speed and things like that, right? So this is basically the Lottie element. You just go to on Lottie and copy paste the link, and you have your animation right here inserted in on your pages. And I've browsed them; they're fantastic, a bunch of them. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to the menu element. So for example, here we have a standard menu element with the pages that I've already created in WordPress. And what you'll notice that we've introduced this orientation option. So basically you can do like this and have the menu oriented on vertical, right? So this opens up the possibility for a bunch of things. For footer, you can create different kinds of structures for menu, or you can put this in a pop-up and create different kinds of menus. So this is a great feature. Next, I can show you the mega menu will introduce. For example, you can go to an item in the menu, and if you activate the mega menu option, you'll see that a structure appears here, like it appears like a column or like a row, and this is where your mega menu will be, right? So as you can imagine, this is not pre-made. You don't have something here that you are stuck with it. You just start to create your mega menu exactly like you would create a regular block, right? For example, I've created here one just to showcase some of the possibilities, right? You can put text, buttons, images, whatever you want in this. It's basically, you only need to take some elements and to drag them in your mega menu, and they'll just work. So this is how the mega menu was envisioned, and we wanted to do it exactly like this from the start, because it has tremendous flexibility, and you'll be able to create whatever you wish here. Okay, let's move on. Let's take the image, for example. I think this is one of the most requested feature on the image element that we received, and you know the size of the image that it's always in percentage, and you want to just make it in pixel. Well, this is very simple right now, because we've introduced pixel sized images. So basically, if you move the image in pixels, you can set a fixed pixel size, and the image will stay at that exact size for the remaining of your time building your blocks, right? This is great for logos, for example, or for any image that you want that exact pixel size. Tabs. Let me show you the tabs, and this is not only on the tabs, but on a couple of other elements as well. We've introduced on color, you'll find now a third label that is the active color label. So basically, what you control here is the active tab, right? You can control the active tab. Let's do something crazy here and play with the colors a bit. So basically, you can control now the active color on tabs, and also on the switch element. Let me play a bit with the switch as well. Actually, I think we'll go with background, and maybe we'll do a red here, and on the normal text we'll do a white. Right, so you can play with these colors and control everything to your liking. The next will be a table element, and this table element will be great for pricings, for any tabular data that you want to easily introduce in Brizzy. So, for example, you can control from here. You can control the rows, right? How many rows you want in your table. You can control the width, and if you want a head or not, or maybe you don't want a sidebar and things like that. And of course, you can edit everything and change fonts and change sizes, add column icons, and everything you are used to right now in Brizzy. So it works the same way. And not only that, it's basically every cell here is basically a container, right? So for example, you want to drag a button somewhere here, no problem. You just pick it up from the elements and bring it in the table, right? So maybe you want an image, you just go and drag an image anywhere you want. So you can build in the table, you can add and build everything you want. So this will open the possibility to create a bunch of great things. I think that's about it with the elements and certain.
Right, so I'm going to throw a challenge to you, and if it's not ready, you can let us know.
Yeah, sure.
The request is, can you also show how this will look in mobile, or will that not be ready yet?
Yeah, we can. I didn't touch on mobile yet. We are still. All I'm showing you right now is in a beta state inside inside the office, right? So we are close to putting the finishing touches and releasing it in a beta state for everyone to test. So there are there might be some small rough edges that we are still ironing out. So I'll prefer to let you experience this when we'll bring the beta out in a short while.
Okay. I love that. Let you experience it. That's a good one. Right. A few questions on the vertical menu. Will that be only fixed, or will it also be allowed to do sticky? I guess menu, the stickiness is connected to the header block, not to the menu, right?
It's connected to the header block. So for example, I'll just wing it. If you go like this, right, if you select the header to be sticky, let's put it on sticky. You'll see that the sticky menu. Let me select it again, right? And the sticky is a different instance of the menu. So, for example, you'll have this. You can have this if you want, no problem. You can have this. Think of it if you combine this with the pop-up, for example, right? You create a pop-up, global pop-up, and you make it maybe align it to be like a sidebar. And you'll have the menu here, right in the sidebar. Let's just for the sake of argument to show you what I have in mind. I didn't test this yet, so.
Okay, good. So I think this is not the case, but Chetan, he noticed that what you had shown for the switcher, the active button, right? And how you can set active button. So he's asking, can that feature also be included in the menu where you have the active?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. The menu is next on the list to be to get this active option. The only not issue, but the only thing is that we are working on it right now as we speak, right? So that's why I can't show it. I can't show it to you tonight, but you'll have here, right, on the colors, on the colors in the menu, you'll have a third label, and you'll be able to set the active color very easily for the menu as well. I'm not sure we'll finish this until we launch this build, but it will come, if not in this next update, in the one after that for sure. So it's basically on the way. So yeah, for sure it will come.
Right, great. Guys, I'm checking the questions there in the chat room. I'll get to the biggest question soon, so Dimi can talk about that first before we continue. But the questions at the moment, we are looking at the builder. So a lot of these questions are maybe not related to the builder itself. And I know some of those questions will come later, so I will keep those over. And then feature requests. Tonight we are just looking at what is in development. So when we get to the end and those things haven't been covered, we'll jot them down. So Dimi, I think the number one question always, as always, is when. So let's talk quickly about the when now, before we have to talk about the when a million times soon.
Yeah, of course. What I've shown you right now is in the next update, right? So we are testing everything right now. It's in we are putting together a beta version, and we'll very well tested inside the offices, inside the company. And right after this, we'll put it out in a public beta. If you guys are not subscribed, you can go on the website, and in the footer you'll find the beta testing subscription link. So you'll be able to receive these builds, and if you want, help us test all this functionality. It's hard for me to tell you exactly when, but you were there, right? You saw the elements are working, all the options are working. We just need to test them all again, and iron out everything we find, and we'll push it in a public beta. And after that, it's just a matter of time until it will be released. I'm maybe a couple of weeks tops to. It's hard. It's hard to tell, but you know why it's usually hard to tell, because it might be a couple of days, but things tend to pop up, right? That you need to address, to fix, to fine tune, and it will be just around the corner. Let's leave it like that.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so we move on, because this is the next part is basically the meat and potatoes, right, of the new thing, that a new feature that we'll introduce in our next update, and that is block conditions. Block conditions will let you put a header and a footer on all your pages instantly. Basically, you can see here on my screen that I've created a couple of pages as a mock website. I'll just go in the home page. As you notice, these are regular blocks, right, from the Brizzy kit. As you can see, they don't have a header and a footer, so we'll just add one right now. Let's pick a standard one, and I'll just bring up the menu. We'll have to, we're testing some options here with the borders and things like that. We'll have to default it to 0 border. So we have our menu right now, and let's put this as a header on top. And what you want to do is you'll want to make this a global header, right? Because you want it to be a global block on all the pages, the same way you actually do right now. But you'll notice that a new option appear here, and this is display conditions. And if you click this, you can set this block to appear on certain pages or not appear on certain pages based on these conditions. And I'll keep it very simple, and this is what you guys most likely will use most of the time. I'll just put it on all the pages, save it, and then update it. And let's let me put the menu here as well. Actually, you know what? I think I'll remove the logo and maybe go with light gray here. And let's add a footer as well. will make the footer global as well. So if you want to display the footer on all the pages, you'll want to make it global, and then go to display conditions and put it on all the pages. Update the page. And let's jump to the front end. And what you'll see here, let me just delete this preview link. What you'll see here is that no surprise, right? We had those blocks in the page builder, so we'll have them as well here, the header and the footer. But surprise, when you go on all the pages, on any page you go, you'll see that the header and the footer will appear there as well. So basically, if my internet doesn't crash and it will load the page, you'll be able to see that. Come on. This is technology for you, right, GP? Exactly when.
Exactly. So nervous.
Exactly when
you were so nervous.
Yeah. Exactly when you want it to work. No, the internet crashes. Something is off. Right. So we are on about page now, and I didn't edit the about page, and you can see that the header and also the sticky and also the footer are here. So. Not only this, but all the pages here on every page in the menu, and you'll be able to see the new header in your new footer. They are applied automatically everywhere. So not only on pages, right? Because what's the point if you need to put it if you need to put your header and footer on different parts of your website? But when you'll, for example, if you want to create a template, right? You'll want maybe your blogging or your to create an archive template or things like that. So, for example, if I create a template for posts, for dynamic posts, and I edit it, you'll see that the header and the footer come here as well. So basically, you'll only start creating your template for your blog, and the header and the footer will follow everywhere you go. So basically, this is how we see the Brizy way of building and managing headers and footers. It's all natural. It's inside the builder. You don't have to go outside in a WordPress, create different templates and move from builder to builder. You just set a block, put it on all the pages, add a header or footer block, put it on all the pages, and you're basically done. You have your header and footer on all the pages. So
right. So what does that mean for pages like archive pages that are created with maybe the Gutenberg editor and for WooCommerce? Would that apply to them at this moment, or how will that integrate?
It will apply on all the pages that are Brizy created, right? So if you go with let me save this and go to the dashboard. So basically what I did here is created a template in Brizy that will be applied with dynamic content in WordPress, right? On all your, this is the display condition on all your posts, right? So this is how you'll be creating your template for your posts. If you go and create a post with Brizy, so for example, if we create a new post and say my first post and edit it with Brizy, we bypass the dynamic content and we basically create that post entirely in Brizy, and of course the header and footer follows, right? Because we set that condition. But if you're asking about the WordPress template, no, we don't touch that. So, for example, if you go and use the regular template, right, from WordPress, you'll get the headers and footers that come with the theme, and it makes perfect sense to be like that, right? Because they are it has flexibility. You want to go with Brizy, you go with Brizy and create your headers and footers like that. If you want to go with WordPress and have a team and want the headers and footers from that team, from Astra, from Brizy starter site, or from other team, you can go that route, right? So does this make sense, or do I need to?
Right, so that will apply, because I know currently with the dynamic content, and I know we're going to look at that some more. And then I know I saw we're going to talk about WooCommerce soon. So I think when we get there, we can probably talk again about what's going to happen for that.
Yeah, but think about it. You'll create,
right?
Yes. Sorry, please.
Oh, no. You finish first, and my next question is not related.
Yeah, what I wanted to, you mentioned something about WooCommerce, but WooCommerce, we'll touch on that a bit later, but just I have this already opened here, so let me just go to Brizy templates. And I'm not sure you've noticed here, this will not appear in the, I'm not sure it will appear in this update. I think we'll need to remove those, but this is how you'll create your WooCommerce templates, right? You'll select product here, and you'll apply a template, a Brizy template on your product or on your product archive and things like that. So basically everything will and does and will make sense once you get your hands on it and start playing with the conditioning and with the headers and footers.
Right. So currently, if I had created a website, let's say I have 5 pages, what we currently do is we add for each page that global header separately.
Yeah.
What will happen if I now put a condition on one of those? Will it replace all the others, or will they apply to all of the others? This is for the current sites, or will they need to rebuild the header?
No, they only need to apply the condition, right? So you have a header, you have it global, and you just go to display conditions and put it on all, and that's it, basically, right?
Right. Got it. Will we be able to select this in the editor as well, the template? Okay, so template creation is still a back-end process, right? Celine is asking, will we be able to do this in the editor? But I still think templates will be done in the back-end, right?
Yeah, right now, yes. Right. We are discussing some things, but for the moment, it will be in the back-end, right? You'll go create it there, apply some display conditions for. Let me just go to the webinar and stop this. Okay. You'll create the template in the backend. You'll apply those display conditions, and for now, we'll keep it there. But with the possibility to bring it into the builder in the future.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let's just see Rosie. Let's see what Rosie is asking. Can some of the headings on the menu be such that they do not have to be a page? For example, I don't want a service page. Just want to list services under it that have their own pages. Custom links? Are we talking about custom links? I'm not sure, Rosie. I don't want the service pages. I just want to list services under. That's going to be just a no link that we are talking to in the menu.
Yeah, but you control links from the WordPress, so it's you can put anything you want there. So basically,
yeah, Rosie, what we'll have to do is we'll have to do how-to video for you to show you how to do that. That can be done, right? Okay. To complete,
you know what
right.
I forgot to show you guys something, and I think I'll just go back and show it to you. Share. Okay. So basically, we're in the builder right now, and I think we're in the home of one of my pages, the home page. What we will introduce in the next update, you see we've put this arrow here near the update. So right now you can click that, and you have a couple of options here. The first one is clear layout. So basically, if you click this, it will clear the page. So you'll be able clear the page and start anew. The next one is save layout. What this will do will save the layout, the entire layout.
Can you do that for us again, because your thumbnail was over those? Okay, I moved you.
Okay,
now
sure.
We can see.
Yeah, okay. Right. Okay, perfect. So here on this toolbar that let us control certain things, and the most important one is the update. We've put this arrow that will give you access to a couple of options. The first one is clear layout. So basically, if you want to start anew, you don't have to delete every single block from the page, but press this one and it will clear the page in an instant. I'll just go back. The second one is save layout. If you press it, it will save the entire layout, not only the blocks, right? So it will save an entire layout. And the last option is switch to draft. So basically, you can just press it and it will switch to draft, and the page is now in draft mode. It will not be accessible to users that are not logged in WordPress. That's about it. Not too exciting, but
yeah, if you had shown that as a separate webinar all by itself, it would have made many people very happy. The save layout and switch to draft.
I know, because I wanted this in. I wanted this in for a long time. We are creating the Brizy blog posts. We are creating them in Brizy 100%. And because we didn't have that save draft feature, we always worked with revisions. We did some crazy stuff there, but now it's perfect because you can work in drafts. Nobody's bothering you. The content is not accessible, and you publish it when you are ready with your work.
Right. In the future, before we leave, I'm going to ask you, hey, Dimi, didn't you forget something? I'm pretty sure we're going to find out there's something.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, but it's hard to keep track of everything. Plus, there are a bunch of minor things that we couldn't put here because it's we only have an hour and 80 minutes maybe, and it's hard to show everything. Plus, a lot of things are in the backend, so you will not see them, optimizations, improvements, and things like that.
Right. Just for you guys that have joined late, welcome. I know there are some people that sometimes only show up this time of the evening. I'm moderating there in the chat room, and I know many questions, and we're very happy to see such a big group join us here tonight. What we are looking at is a state of development. This is what's currently in the works and what it can do. There's a lot of feature requests that I see in the chat room and how-to questions. Unfortunately, I'll try to make a list and try and address it here and there. But the focus for tonight is just to look at what the developers have in the works. And what is being shown here tonight is things that are basically there. Not basically,
yeah, next update. Next update.
Next update. Right, let's move on.
Yep. The slides.
Okay, right.
Okay, please.
Yep.
Okay, so we did that. Let's move to Brizy WordPress. And let me remind you that Brizy WordPress, these are only the parts that are specific to WordPress, right? They will not be found in Brizy Cloud. And in the next update for Brizy in WordPress will contain everything we've discussed until now. So everything regarding the Brizy Builder, all those nice elements, the draft, the block conditions, everything we've shown so far, plus new elements, login form. So you'll be able. We've created an element called login. So and it is automatically linked with the login in WordPress. So basically, you'll be able to create a custom login page for your clients, your users. We've also added a post navigation element. That is a element that you'll most likely use on your blog posts to let you jump from the next and previous posts. So it's basically a navigation through posts. We've done a bunch of dynamic content rewrites and improvements, and I'll touch on this a bit later. We've also made different dynamic template improvements, and at last, the long-awaited white label. We've addressed the edit links from the builder and also the blog content. And I'll on this part of the webinar, I'll show you the white label. The white label showcase, just to make some guys happy, because I know this is long awaited. Right, we've covered what will come next, right? Now let us discuss a bit of what is in the works. And what is in the works means that it's coming in a future update. We'll further develop and improve the dynamic content. We'll continue to work, and the WooCommerce is already started for some time now, and we are over for 50% done. Why we keep bothering you with this or nagging you with this dynamic content improvement is because the WooCommerce is based 100% on the dynamic part, right? So they need to come together perfectly. And this is because this is why we keep improving the dynamic content and keep adding things there in order to bring them together easily but surely. And right now, WooCommerce is over 50%. Unfortunately, we can't show you something in WordPress right now, but hopefully I'll have something soon to show you. We've put a pause on WooCommerce a bit, and this is because we still need to develop the dynamic content a bit more to match with WooCommerce. But we promise you that we are working on WooCommerce, and it will come, I hope, soon. We also work on a third-party API. A bunch of rewrites and options and elements that we are redoing, rewriting, improving are mostly related to the API, because we need to come under the same. We are building the API and come under the same standard with Brizy at the same time. So this takes a while, and it's a process, but we'll get there. We also will focus in the near future, and in the future we'll focus on adding new designs. And this is mainly layout packs and layout designs and other things that it's hard for us to put here. We have a bunch of things on the list. Responsive breakpoints that I know we've discussed a bunch in the past. We have some animations for buttons, for images in the pipeline. Also, we are working on a nice feature for absolute positioning and little things like this that will let you put some nice cherries on top of your of your website. That's about it with in the works. GP, if there are any questions, we can address them now, or I can just show you guys the white label.
There are some questions, but they are not related to this. Some are related to cloud, which is still coming, and the grammar monster or the spelling monster responsive. Charmin pointed out that we got responsive wrong there, like we teased it. we have creeps in somewhere. Yeah. One thing I think Fiona has asked this question a few times. She was asking about a theme builder. When is Brizzy going to bring in a theme builder? And I think, Fiona, it's basically when we're talking about a theme, we're talking about you're going to have headers, you're going to have footers, and you're going to have dynamic
This is
content.
The theme builder. This is our vision.
Yeah.
This is our vision of the team builder. If you, I always, I was talking with a good friend of mine. I've introduced him to Brizy, and he's building his website right now. And I've told him from the start, and I can tell you guys the same thing. It applies. Try to leave behind some of the concepts or some of the things that come maybe from other builders, and we tend to do things a bit differently in some areas, and this is our vision for headers and footers and the team builder. This is the team builder. You can put headers, you can put footers, you can create your pages, you can instantly put those on across your website. I'm not sure what maybe you have different definitions of team builder, but this is it, right? It's
yeah. Good. Tim, no sound. You have to refresh. I think just refresh if you cannot hear anything. The rest, it seems all is good in terms of sound. And then more questions on Cloud. So I'm going to hold that over to Cloud. A question on the header block. I'm not sure if that is something that is being addressed. Transparency for if you want the transparent overlay for the header block is.
Yeah, it's a good question. It escapes me right at this moment. We have it. I know that we have it on the list. I'm not sure it's in this update, but I'll take a look and I'll see if this was addressed here. But you can. I know that you can do it with some negative margins and some smart adjustments there, but yeah, I'll need to look into it a bit. I can definitely 100% say for sure right now.
Great. Okay, does more animations mean scroll animations?
Yeah, sure. We have an idea in mind to create a sort of an animation module, right? As something that applies on every element, and you can. We'll see how this goes. We are discussing things, and but the animations in general refers to button animations, hover animations, image animations, zoom and all those effects. Yeah, it's a general term, right? We can we take, if you guys have some ideas, we are discussing some ideas, we are putting on paper some ideas. So if you have any suggestions, any examples, any we are open to see about how to bring this into Brizzy and make it the best it can be.
Great. Yep, that's it. Let's move on. Let's see what's next in line. We are almost at 7.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, almost at the hour. It's 8 o'clock in your life.
I'll just move faster, right? We'll do a short live showcase for the WordPress part, and I've promised I'll show you guys the white label, options that we've introduced. Can you see my screen, GP?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So we are in our dashboard here. As you know, if you don't know, go to our support to know how to access the white label option. So you basically need to access a certain link that will activate those white label options. And this white label menu will appear under Brizzy once you go on that link. I should mention that this link is only accessible in this session. So basically, if you log out and log back in, it will disappear until you access that special link again. So right now you can modify the company. So basically, let's make it I don't know, GP's builder, right? Let's make GP's builder. GP builder, and for the traffic, let's put the GP, and we'll save those changes. What you'll notice is that this already changed. Of course, you can change the icon as well, but I didn't bother in this example. This changed in the menu, so now it says GP Builder. It doesn't say Brizzy anymore. Everything from the dashboard, the news, and the blog post, and everything related to Brizzy disappeared. Also, the plugins disappeared from the list, so you can't see them no more. But when you go to a page, for example, to edit it, of course, it will say the GP Builder. And you can, for example, this page, you can continue to edit it with the GP builder. So let's do that. And what you'll notice here in the link, and this is one of the changes that it was awaited by the guys that use the white label for Brizy. Look, here it says GP edit. It doesn't say Brizy edit anymore. So basically, you'll be able to brand this with your brand. And we've also addressed the blocks. Certain blocks, not from the Kit 2, but from the Kit 1, had certain content related to Brizy, right? And we've moved and replaced all those text, images, anything related to Brizy. It's gone from the blocks right now. So basically, we've erased any trace of Brizy, and also removed GP. I'm sorry to tell you, mate, but we've removed from the pop-ups. We've removed our thumbs with. There were some thumbs with.
No problem. Very happy.
Yeah, there were some thumbs with. I think I don't have the latest build here. Look, I can see the thumbs with us and the videos and things like that. But in the update, this will be gone. So basically, we've replaced all the. Bottom line, we've removed any trace of Brizy from the blocks, right? From the content blocks and from the pop-ups, and also we've addressed this link. We feel that the white label is 100% completed, so there is no point in. I know that some of our customers held with the white label. They didn't use it because of these changes, so now they can do that. You can change the About Brizy link, and you can change the support link, the name and the link. So basically, this will point to your website for your clients to get support on your website, not on ours. That's about it with the white label.
Right, but I think when we talk about serving images, right, and this Charman has asked this question a few times, the images that are being shown is still stored on the Brizy server, right? So when they are being served, if you were to right-click and open them, would that still show a Brizy link?
No. They download the images, all the images from all the blocks. They'll once you add a block in the page, all the images, you'll find them in your media library. There are no links pointing to Brizy. There are no everything. We've went through all the blocks and change any text that says something about Brizy, any link that points to Brizy, any thumbnail that has a hint or something that is related to Brizy. So we'll look on them again in our beta testing, and you'll have the chance of course to test that as well. And if for some reason something escaped us, and you can still find the one link or an image or something like that, but I doubt it. So
Jay says he's going to email you 2 areas, so he's very confident he's going to find it. But Jay, you will have to wait until the beta, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thanks for the help. I'm sure that there will be some things to address. I don't fool myself, right? It's
right. Okay, right, good. Wait to disable the preset. So, okay, so one of the questions I'm seeing here, and this, I think the two are not connected, white label and disabling, I would say, roles. I've seen a few questions for role managers. There are some people that hope that in the future they can see disabling of Kit 1 and Kit 2 to kind of give control over who can do what within the editor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most likely that's an area related to the API. I think, not sure now, but if we were to think out loud here, I'm guessing that it's an area that will maybe add it in the API to let you control different parts, to turn them off, on, and things like that. At least on the top of my head, we'll just have to keep talking about it and see, if there is a need to put them in the builder or.
Right. So Amit is concerned that once he starts using white label, will plugin updates still work? No problem, right?
Yeah, plugin update will still work, sure, but you'll need to switch to access the white label area again and update it. So basically, right now there isn't a second way to update the plugins, but from the plugin section.
Right. So Shirley Louise is one of the people say that she's got to leave now. Thank you for attending. If you guys got to go, we still have some things to show, but this video will be on YouTube either tomorrow or Saturday, so you can catch it there. Okay, we move on.
Yep.
Are you looking for the presentation?
Yeah. I'm
okay, I'll give it back
perfect.
to you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just stumbling in this. It looks easy to use this interface, but I'll need to. Yeah,
bowling you over. It's always the first.
Yeah,
time,
we've switched to lately. Okay, let's go to Brizzy Cloud. Right. So we've talked about a short reminder. We've talked about the Brizzy Builder. And I've told you that the Brizzy Builder is common. So it's basically the glue between the WordPress plugin and Cloud. It's something that you'll find in WordPress and in Cloud as well. It has almost the same options and features. We've moved on and talked about the WordPress plugin and what it will be next in the next update and what we are working on right now for future updates. And now let's go to Brizzy Cloud. In the next update of Brizzy Cloud, we'll have, of course, all the updates in the Brizzy Builder that we've touched on and discussed earlier, and I've showcased you the elements and all those nice things. We'll also have this collaboration tool, but I should preface this. We are not 100% certain that it will be. It's nearly there, but we're not 100% yet certain that it will be 100% done until we launch this update in Brizzy WordPress and Brizzy Cloud. So maybe the collaboration tool that I'll show you tonight, it will be pushed in the next update, not this one, but the one after that. But we are not certain yet. So I've put it here, but we'll see. And we're also working on a new way to publish your projects on static hosting websites. This was a very requested feature by a lot of our cloud fans. You'll be able to host your projects on Netlify, Fast.io, and every site that hosts static content, right? And this will happen via GitHub. You'll sync your cloud project on your GitHub account. You'll create an account. GP and I will do tutorials and step-by-step things. You don't need to know anything. You'll need a GitHub account, and you'll sync everything there, and that GitHub account you'll integrate in all these static hosting websites that integrate GitHub, and you'll basically move your project and get it published outside Brizzy, right? You can have it on our servers if you want. You can have it on your server, but we'll introduce this new way to have it on an outside server that hosts static content, and this brings a tremendous speed, because these sites have very powerful CDN networks, and the speed, loading speeds, and things like that. Accessibility will be excellent. Okay, Brizzy Cloud in the next update. In the works in Brizzy Cloud. In the works means that we are working on them, and these features you'll see here are in certain stages of development, but they're not coming in the next update. They'll come in a future update, right? So we have on our list a white label, and this is something very special. You'll see, because we are discussing to create and started to work on it, an API that will let you basically create your own SaaS project and access our builder on your end, right? So you'll be able to create a Brizzy cloud on your website. More on this later, but trust me, this will be something you'll for those interested and those that want to have a business in this area and want access to a white label builder on their side. This will be perfect. We also have funnels analytics and A/B testing on the list, and we've put this right from the get-go. We want to do it, and we started some work there, but it's still early development. It will come. We also have a blog feature on the list, and this is part of our CMS, our cloud CMS. Also, we are planning a dynamic assets. Think of them as ACF, like is ACF in WordPress, like dynamic fields it's a sort of a dynamic fields for Brizzy Cloud, right? It will let you create certain assets, certain portfolio, certain custom blog posts. Let's call them that. And the last thing is the products. So basically, this incorporates a shopping feature that will let you add products, integrate payments, and things like that. This is a short list, but let me assure you that there is a long list in terms of development time, energy, and passion we are putting into. And we've tried. I was discussing with our colleague Sergio earlier today, and we've kind of tried to put a sort of priority, right? Sort of help me here, GP. Sort of a priority on the timelines, right? It will be white label first, right, then funnels and analytics, then later on blog and dynamic assets, and later on the product part. So that's basically it about Brizzy Cloud in the works. We are working on a bunch of things like you see here. It's a bit early to show some things. I could show you some things about the early UI. We're working on the UI for blog, dynamic content, products, and things like that. But it's a bit early, and let's just keep the enthusiasm up, and we'll show you when is the right way. But we are super excited about it, and I honestly can't wait to show you something there. So let's go to the live showcase. In this part of the cloud part of the webinar, we thought we'll show you our collaboration tool. I know the GP showed you something last time in our essential webinars. Showed you a sneak peek. But I'll just walk you really fast through it and tell you how it will work. This is basically a tool that will let you communicate and work with your team, right? So basically, you'll have your project made in Brizzy Cloud, and you'll just very easily jump to the comments part, to the collaboration tool. We'll have a new icon in the builder here in the sidebar, and you'll basically be able to switch between the collaboration tool and the builder in an instant, and it will also be accessible from the dashboard. So basically, what you'll do, you'll invite your team members here. You'll invite your team members in your sub account in Brizzy Cloud, and they'll get access to use the collaboration tool. This works like I'm sure you've encountered tools like this. Client comes and puts some comments and tells you to do something, maybe to change something and things like that. We can, by the way, this collaboration tool can be public. So basically, if you want feedback from external sources or from outside your team members, you switch it to public here. So basically, when you share the link, anyone can collaborate and put comments here on this link. But you can also make it private, so only your team members will see this. And you basically go back and forth with the clients and your team members, get feedback on certain things, design functionalities and things like that for the project. And when everything is done and ready, the client or the person responsible just resolve the comments. So maybe basically they will mark the task as done, and you'll see this nice tick here on this blue. Of course, you can add comments in different sections for every mobile version. You can also add the resolved comments, so you only see the comments that are not resolved. Let's switch to tablet, for example, and this will display here your exact page, your project in the tablet view, right? And we can see here in the left-hand side that we are looking at the home page. But of course, we can switch if this is where all your pages will be displayed. So for example, we can jump to About Us page. There are no comments in tablet view, so everything is sorted out. If we go to desktop, we have some comments here to resolve. So this is how this will basically work. And of course, from any page in the collaboration tool, you can jump by pressing this icon, this pen icon. You can jump in the builder, right? So you have a comment here, for example, hey, change this image, change this color or something. You just press this pencil, and it will jump in the builder exactly on this About Us page. So you can do that and buy what your client or your team member suggested.
While we are here, Saidi ask interesting question. So for comments, that would be ideal if you had somebody you don't want to edit the page, you just want them to view it and leave comments for a client. Will that be able to sign it as a team member role in a sub account? Will that be something that, or is that an idea at this moment?
Let me see if I get this right. So you have if you invite, there are two ways to add to add comments here. You can add it as a team member. You create a project in Brizzy Cloud, right? So you create a team there. You invite, using our team feature, you invite team members into your sub account, and you invite them there, and they'll get access to use this collaboration tool based on your the collaboration tool for the project, right? But there is another way to access and put this. If the manager of the project wants, there is a public link that can be shared. So I'm not sure I got the question right, GP. Sorry, mate.
I think what the question is whether it will be if you can have somebody only, their role is only that they can make comments. They cannot do anything on the site. It's like a role, probably. You can only have them access comments.
Yeah, sure. I think the client role is will have all the roles will have access to the collaboration tool, but this is not related to the collaboration tool, right? It's related to the builder. So basically, the roles that we have right now will be the same. So basically, the client will have a preview role. So if you are logged in, you'll be able to see the project, but you will not be able to edit anything with the project or anything. We have a client role that will be able to edit certain parts of the project, only change text, switch an image, things like that, but not actually change the structure or the design of your project. And the other roles, designer, manager, owner, that have increasingly higher access and yeah. So basically, yes, right. The question is yes.
Right. Okay, so let me go a few questions. Stephen has a few, and the first one will be, we did the previous one earlier this year on the cloud development, and we talked about cloud as a CMS And the question is there a media library in England? Currently we're just uploading the images one by one.
This is a very good question, and this is something. Yes, we are actually. It's funny because I was just discussing about this with our colleague Bogdan the other night. We are putting the kids to bed and then have a Zoom meeting 2-3 hours to discuss and work and think and touch on what happened during the day. And this was one of the points of the discussion I had with Bogdan. So yes, there eventually there will be a media library, because it's impossible to manage images and files and things like that at scale when you're talking in the paradigm of a CMS, right? It does the job right now. You upload the images. Okay, there are some issues, some usability problems there. If you are using the same images, you need to upload them again and things like that. It's okay. You can do it. It's not a big problem when you're talking about websites, a couple of pages, landing pages. But when you're talking about blog posts, products, a CMS, basically a full-fledged CMS, it requires a media library. So I'm guessing we'll have one for sure.
Right, and also from Stephen, in connection with cloud breakpoints and custom page width, will those be options considered, or will they be included?
We've discussed about a bunch of time about breakpoints, and we think they're important, and we want to add them eventually. Responsive. I'm thinking about responsive breakpoints, right? About controlling when certain devices with the width of the screen, and when certain devices are. We've been discussing about this a couple of times, a bunch of time actually, and we want to do it. I know for sure that it is on our list, but it's always a matter of priority. And as much as some of you guys want WooCommerce, it's important. It's important. We agree, everything is important. But for example, if we don't hit a small break and truly develop the dynamic content and bring it up to par to be able to integrate the WooCommerce, it doesn't make sense, right? This is one point, and the other point, you can put the horses. How is the expression? The horses before the carriage or after? Doesn't matter. You get my point. We needed block conditions first, right? It will be a shame not to be able to put headers and footers on all your pages, but to be able to create a WooCommerce page. Come on.
Right. Back to cloud. Daniel had asked about the possibility of A/B testing.
Yeah, we have that on the list as well, and not only we have it, we actually have an idea on how to make it the Brizzy way. You'll love it. We just need to get there and start working on it. I can tell you that we didn't start it yet, so we don't have anything in that regard in development. So it's at 0% right now, but we have an idea how to do it, and we have it on paper. So and sometimes this figuring it out to how to make it truly easy to use and the Brizzy way, how we put it, this is sometimes the most challenging part. So I'm confident that once we start working on it, it will be done relatively fast.
Okay, and we have no more questions so much on the cloud. There's a lot of feature requests, so not related to the development work that we have seen. Yes, Don, that is my next question. There has been, I would say, the biggest question tonight is something you had shown everyone before, and tonight you didn't touch on it. Stories.
Okay, yeah, stories. Stories. Yeah, that's the price, right? When you show something that is still a bit in development. So where it's in the works, right? So actually, it's my bad that now that I think about it, I've also forgot to put it on the in the works list, right? So it seems that we are not developing it, but we do. It's in the works, and it will come. We just encountered some small challenges when it comes to the way you are building the story, and we didn't show that the last time we've teased it, and that was intentional. The way you build the story is not the normal way you do it with elements in Brizzy. It works with elements, but when you add them in the page, it's like Photoshop, right? You can drag them. It's everything is positioned absolutely, so you don't have columns. You don't have. It's more of a canvas that lets you move elements around and do different stuff. So we are still working a bit on that part.
Right, and I'm
But
pretty sure when stories are ready, we can do a whole webinar only on that. I think we'll
I can't wait, and we have some great ideas of stories to. We've built a couple, but we have some interesting ideas of stories. So send us an email if you have some requests regarding designs. What do you want to see regarding stories? Yeah.
Great. Alberto said he joined late. He wants to know about WooCommerce. Alberto, don't worry. This video and replay of the webinar should be on YouTube by tomorrow, no later than Saturday. You can check it out there because WooCommerce is only a WordPress feature. It's not a Brizzy Cloud feature, but it is something we will call in the future products, but it's at the bottom of our current priority list. So don't worry. Eventually we'll get there. Images. Okay, surprise time. People are waiting for the surprise. Don't expectations can be very disappointing.
No,
so just be aware of that, guys. Yeah. So I think we have reached our 80-minute mark, which is actually pretty good. Dimitri, did you practice a dry run before the time? How did you know we're going to get to 80 minutes?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't, and thought this will take a bit more. And we've discussed it here and cut some stuff from the showcase because it's actually impossible to show everything without going into 3 hours. There was a couple of things that we could have shown, but it's better for you to test it and see how they work when we release them, like the sync feature that will let you move blocks from Brizzy WordPress to Brizzy Cloud and the other way around. So yeah, we need to keep we need to keep some
secrecy.
Some secrecy, some interesting stuff
There must be a little bit of enigma in there. I am amazed. You guys are 1 hour ahead of me at this moment, because I know we have a time difference and you have something like savings time, right?
Yeah.
You still have daylight. You are at 8:30 at the night, and I can still see daylight there, right?
It goes dark at 10 or something like this. 9. It's right now. It's 8:30. I think at 9:30 or something like this in the summer. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you are later than me, and it's already dark here. I'm just amazed. Wow. Okay. And how are you doing working from home?
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, to be honest. Juggling all the dead stuff. The kids are home. One of my kids, Andrew, is 7 years old, and he's at this time he's homeschool. He's doing school from home with all the teachers on Zoom. It's madness. I'm partly doing the teacher part at home. It's a bit crazy, to be honest. When we'll go back to this sort of a normal thing, it will be a vacation for me at the office. So
Okay. So before we go and before we talk about our usual, we were talking about the beta release. Do you have a rough time frame? Can it be expected in the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Something like I know that Sergio, if I'm not mistaken, what I've shown you here on this install on this WordPress is the first beta we have in house. So basically, you saw that most of things work, but usually the delays or the testing is not about the most obvious things, right? You need to test some very deep cases, very deep conditioning. This, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the first beta tests that we are doing in house. We had an alpha testing, I think. 1 week and a half ago, so we've ironed out a bunch of issues. This is the beta. I think we'll test it in the next days, and the beta is just around the corner. You believe me, it's not 2 months away. It's week 2, maybe something like this. We'll have it. When we'll have it, you'll have it, because being a beta, we prefer to put it. Yeah, we prefer to put it in your hands, and we thank you for this, because we've received tremendous feedback in the past. It's impossible, right, to figure out and find everything when you're testing in 20 in an environment of 20 people, right? It's hard to find everything. So when you open it up and give it to hundreds of our fans and customers from our beta crew, they always bring very good feedback back, and
Good. Right, guys, this is our surprise at the end for the 15% discount for yearly Brizzy Pro plans. This will be for both WordPress and Cloud. And then that code will be sent to you on the email after this, and you'll also get a replay of the webinar. And Jay, you had asked where they are. They are showing up now. There they are, right?
I'd like to think that the whole webinar was the actual surprise, right? This is the 15% is like an icing on the cake, but
yeah. Thank you very much, and thank you, everyone. I know we didn't get to a lot of the questions there. We tried to keep this as impactful as possible, as we also learn with the software, and we'll see what works better, and we'll make a decision on which platform works better here. You can also let us know what you think of that. So for those of you waking up over there in the States and the Americas, all the way down there to Peru, we've seen people from Argentina. Enjoy the rest of your day. For you guys in Australia, Japan that are already in Friday, enjoy your Friday. And then for the rest of you, have a good day and a good night from me. See you the next time.
Bye, guys. Thanks a lot for being here with us. I hope you liked all the showcase we've done tonight. I can't wait till we put this in your hands. If you want to test this in a beta, right, the beta builds, and get access to all I've shown you tonight, just go to our website, Brizzy.io, and in the footer you'll find the beta test subscription, and you'll receive an email once we put the builds in the beta. Thanks a bunch for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.